Hey everyone, welcome to today's explainer on our AI materials. So we hear about artificial intelligence literally everywhere right now, right? In the news, in our video games, on our phones. But what actually is it? And more importantly, how does it work behind the scenes? Well, today we're going to act like tech detectives. We're opening up the black box of AI to uncover the exact step-by-step logic that drives it. Get ready, because this is absolutely going to change how you look at the tech you use every single day.
To kick things off, I want you to think about a super fascinating question. When you snap a picture with your smartphone, or say when a self-driving car is navigating down a really busy street, do those machines actually see and experience the world the exact same way that you do? I mean, when you look at a golden retriever or a beautiful sunset, you're having an entire human experience. But does the machine have that same experience? Okay, let's dive right into this. While we humans experience the world, an AI system relies on what we call AI perception. Think about it. When you look at a totally colorful sunset, you aren't just registering the colors. You feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, you appreciate the beauty, maybe you even connect it to a cool memory. An AI system, on the other hand, merely processes representations of data. It uses sensors to collect raw data inputs from the environment, like an image from a camera or a sound recorded by a microphone. So, to the AI, that sunset isn't this warm, beautiful experience. It's really just a giant grid of numbers, pixels, and data points that its programming has to sort through. Now, because AI can do some pretty incredible things, it's honestly super easy to fall for a few common misconceptions. And hey, these are completely reasonable starting ideas. But as tech detectives, we need to correct them using evidence. First up, people often think AI sees and hears exactly as a person does. But as we just learned, it absolutely doesn't. It just processes digital representations from its sensors. Second, there's this myth that AI thinks and understands exactly like a human. In reality, machines don't possess human understanding or emotions at all. They just deduce trends from patterns and follow operational logic. And finally, the third big myth is that an AI output is automatically a fact. We all kind of assume computers are always 100% right, don't we? But as we'll see today, an AI's output is actually just a prediction or a recommendation. It is definitely not a guaranteed fact.
All right, let's move into section 1, how AI actually works right behind the scenes.
So behind every single AI system is a 5-step reasoning sequence. This is exactly how it gets from raw information to a final result. Think of it as the core engine. Step 1 is the input. Step 2 is the pattern, rule, or model. Step 3 is processing. Step 4 is the output. And step 5, which is absolutely crucial for safety, is the human check. Let's zoom in and look a little closer at the bookends of this process. Let's define that very first step, input, or data. This is simply the information that's provided to or collected by the AI system so it can actually do its job. Now, an AI's input can be machine-based data gathered directly from the environment using sensors, like, say, a digital camera lens capturing an image of the road. But inputs can also be human-based rules or historical data that programmers just type right into the system. The main takeaway here? Without input, the AI has absolutely nothing to work with. Now, skipping ahead to step 4, we have the output. Once the AI has taken that input and processed it through its operational logic, it produces an output. But here is the critical part you have to remember. An output isn't some magical truth. It is simply a classification, a prediction, a recommendation, or a decision support result. And it's based entirely on the system's design and whatever data it had available. The AI is essentially making a very complex, highly educated guess. Moving on to section 2, breaking down an example. Let's look at autonomous driving. I want you to imagine an autonomous driving system, a self-driving car, and it's cruising down a quiet neighborhood street. Suddenly, an object rolls out right into the middle of the road. The car needs to figure out what to do, and it has to do it fast. So how exactly does the AI inside that car use our 5 steps to make a decision? Well, here's exactly how that sequence plays out in real time. Step 1, input. The camera sensors collect visual data. Step 2, the model. The system relies on its programmed driving rules. Step 3, processing. The computer rapidly applies those rules to the new camera data. Step 4, output. The AI predicts the shape as an obstacle and decides to hit the brakes. But crucially, we have step 5, the human check. The human driver must be sitting there, ready to take the wheel in case the AI makes a mistake. And this brilliantly illustrates that crucial distinction we talked about earlier. An AI prediction, like classifying a blurry shape as an obstacle based on sensor data, is vastly different from a proven fact, where you know with 100% certainty what the object actually is. I mean, just because the car successfully braked for a bouncing ball one time, that doesn't prove the system will always work perfectly in every single situation. A really confident computer output is still, at the end of the day, just a prediction.
Which brings us to a massively important part of our investigation today, managing uncertainty and risk. Because let's face it, AI systems aren't perfect. The quality and relevance of the input data directly affect the final result. If that camera lens is covered in mud, yeah, the output will likely be wrong. Context and operating conditions really matter too. A self-driving car that works great in sunny weather might completely fail in a blizzard. Models and rules always have limitations, which means outputs can be uncertain, biased, unreliable, or just flat out incorrect. And this is exactly why testing one example just isn't enough, and why human oversight, meaning people monitoring and evaluating the AI's results, is absolutely necessary for safety and accountability. All right, Section 3, your turn. It's time to be an AI detective.
Okay, time to test those skills. Here's your scenario. A bank is using an AI credit scoring system to help decide if a customer should be approved for a loan to buy a house. I want you to take a brief pause here and really think carefully. Can you mentally map out all 5 steps of the reasoning sequence for this specific banking scenario? What's the input? What's the model? What is the processing? What's the output? And critically, what's one reason the output could be uncertain, which would require a human check before the final decision is made? Just take a second to think about it. Okay, let's see how you did. Step 1, the input, is the borrower's financial data. Step 2, the model, well, that's the bank's credit rules. Step 3, processing, is the AI actually applying those rules. Step 4, the output, is the final recommendation to either approve or deny the loan. But wait, what if the input data was outdated or incomplete? That is exactly why we need Step 5. A human loan officer must step in to verify that output before making the final call.
And finally, Section 4, the big takeaway and our core lessons.
So let's wrap this up.
Here are your core lesson takeaways. First, AI systems receive inputs and use patterns, rules, or models to produce their outputs. Second, AI perception means processing representations of data, like digital pixels or numbers. It does not experience the world the way a person does. Third, outputs are not automatically facts. They are predictions or recommendations. Because of this, results can absolutely be uncertain or incorrect depending on the context. And finally, people must always examine the inputs, test the results, and verify an output to ensure it's safe and appropriate before acting on it. Trustworthiness and accountability, they always rely on human oversight.
I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on today. The next time you interact with an AI, whether it's asking a chatbot a question for a homework assignment or just following a video game's automated recommendation, remember that its output is really just a prediction. If it's not a guaranteed fact, how will you check its work? What context or limitations will you be looking for? Keep those detective skills sharp, 7th graders. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time as we continue our journey into the wild world of AI.